9th October 2022. At 4 o'clock, we are starting this lecture series. This lecture series is concerned with Delhi region and Delhi University. How geography discipline has developed in Delhi University and then Delhi region. So, Professor Devendra Prasad Singh is organizing this program. He has covered several of the regions in India, and the pivot of this country, the Delhi region, is being covered today. We have with us the former Vice Chancellors of various universities, the present Vice Chancellors, the Honorable, the head of the departments of various universities in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh. We are assembled here to review our, the origin and then the progress of our discipline in this subcontinent. So it's a matter of pride that Professor Singh is organizing this program and we are witnessing. Probably we need no introduction to all of us and everyone. We are watching this program almost once in a fortnight or maybe once in a month. So may I request Professor Suresh Chandroy to talk a few minutes and then we can proceed to the program.
Thank you, Professor Kumar Swamy, sir. Yeah. And first of all, I congratulate the DP Singh and his team for since last 2 years he is organizing this program for the cause of geography discipline. And today program is on our department, which department? The Department of Delhi University, Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi, and I am heading this department. So all senior professors, Professor Qureshi sir, Professor Sudesh Nagia madam, Professor Rana sir, Professor Sri Kamal Sharma sir, and foreign delegates, Professor Ataur Rahman, Professor Shyam, Shahidul, and Nasreen. So this episode is really an international episode because most of the participants from neighboring country. As you know that our department, Delhi University, established in 1959 as a department of human geography. And after that in 1976, that department name was changed and it becomes the Department of Geography. And I'm very happy to say that Professor Sudesh Nagia is the first batch student of Delhi School of Economics, Department of Geography. So she will tell more because I am not aware about the more in the department because all senior persons I never seen and I never met because I joined Department of Geography in 2005. At that time, most senior professors retired. So in this brief background, I think I request Professor DP Singh to start the proceeding of the today program. Unmute kar lijiye.
Professor Kumaraswamy, please go ahead.
Okay. Yes, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Yes, sir. Start.
Professor, Madam, Professor Sudesh Nagia, Madam, you can start your lecture. And then,
no, sir. First, welcome address.
Okay.
Welcome address.
Okay. Yeah. Please, I request Dr. Anirudh Kumar, TMB University, to welcome the gathering.
Dr. Anirudh Kumar, you please open your mic.
Dr. Anirudh Kumar.
Open your mic.
Unmute कर लीजिए अपने को.
आपकी आवाज नहीं.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes. You
Thank you, everybody. Good evening, everybody. It is a great pleasure and privilege for me to extend heartiest welcome to all the dignitaries and participants of this 28th online lecture series of Founders and Makers of Modern Geography in India. As discussed earlier, that the 28th lecture is dedicated to renowned geographers of Delhi region, especially Delhi University. Dr. M.P. Thakore, founder principal of Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, DU. Dr. Shyam Sunder Singh Bhatia, reader and head Department of Human Geography, DU. Dr. Amrit Lal, Dr. Mrs. Savitri, Burman, and Dr. Ranjit Tirth. First of all, I would like to pay respect to them from the core of my heart. Then I would like to welcome today's president of this lecture, Professor S.C. Roy, University Professor and Head, Department of Geography, Delhi School of Economics, DU, Secretary General of NAGI, Vice President of AGA, Asian Geographers Association, Beijing, People's Republic of China, National Committee member of IUGG, IGU, and INSA, New Delhi. A warm welcome, sir. Now, I warmly and respectfully welcome our convener, Professor K. Kumaraswamy, former Professor and Head, Department of Geography, Bhatia University, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, who is also a respected UGC BSR faculty fellow. A man with great vision and mission, an icon of hard work. Our chief guest, Professor Ataur Rahman, is a professor at University of Peshawar, Northwest Frontier Province, Pakistan, and President of Pakistan Association of Geographers, who has crossed the boundary of excellence with the great spirit towards profession. I welcome you, sir. I feel happy to welcome our distinguished guest, Professor Bimal Kekar, Professor and Founder Head, Department of Geography, Guwahati University, Guwahati. We are looking forward to being blessed with the treasure of knowledge for your experience in this field. I wish to extend a warm welcome to Professor Sudesh Nangia, JNU, New Delhi, former President, NAGI, AGS, IASP, and IIG, former member UGC, Bhugol Vachaspati of NAGI, UG Emeritus Fellow, and many more. Ma'am, you are the source of inspiration and motivation of many young geographers like us. Once again, a warm welcome. I extend heartiest welcome to Dr. V.K. Tyagi, SBSUDU, New Delhi, who has graciously consented to be today's speaker. Sir, we are hoping to learn a great deal from your lecture. I feel happy to welcome Professor Devendra Prasad Singh, Director, IERARD, Patna, Vice President of NAGI, and also the intercessor of this event. Sir, you are the backbone of this lecture series. Now, I welcome Professor Ashish K. Saha, Department of Geography, Delhi School of Economics, DU, Dr. Amrit Lal, Assistant Professor, BKSU Ara, Bihar, and Amit Kumar, Assistant Professor, RD College, Shekhpura, Bihar. We feel greatly honored that several experienced geographers of national and international repute, including Dr. M. Shahidul, Professor Anna Pratap Singh, Professor Qureshi sir, Professor Nasrin ma'am, and so many have kindly graced this occasion. A genial welcome to all.
Now, let me invite the chief guest of this evening, Professor Ataur Rahman, the Department of Geography, University of Peshawar, Northwest Frontier Province of Pakistan, and also the President of Pakistan Association of Geographers, to this gathering, because we know very well that in the subcontinent, Pakistan has the honor of starting the geography discipline in Pakistan, and then later to India. So in that context, I would like to say that during 1920s, there were only few centers in India which were had the experience of starting the discipline. One is at in Lahore, then at Chennai, then Aligarh, then Patna, then finally at Calcutta. So all these centers are the epicenters of geography for during 1920s and 30s. In that context, it is very well a very good beginning to start our program, 28th program of Delhi, with Professor Rahman of Northwestern Frontier Province of Pakistan. Let me invite Professor Rahman to talk about the geography discipline in Pakistan with a special reference to your university and all. Professor Rahman.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, very much, please.
Okay. Can you see my slide?
Yes, yes.
नजर आ रहा है आप लोगों को?
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Okay, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My very respectable colleagues, senior geographers representing the entire India and the Bangladesh. It's really a great honor for the geography community that today we are in the 28th episode of the modern geographers, the makers of geographers representing the entire Indian subcontinent. It's really honor for the Department of Geography, University of Peshawar as well, that we are also part of that geography knowledge from where it spread in the entire subcontinent. I will also share some of the virtual visit of the Department of Geography that recently I joined Department of Geography as a chairman Department of Geography. So the development took place during past 2 years. I will also share that as well. The Department of Geography, University of Peshawar, it was established back in 1956. I will be very much brief in order to give more time to the presenters. So it was established back in 1956, but it was not the geographers from Pakistan. Rather, it was the Professor Hamiduddin and Professor Ashraf Durrani. They were from the Aligarh University. So I mean the knowledge and the source is again from the India. Then in 1956, it was the third department in Pakistan. The first, it was in 1945, the University of the Punjab, Lahore. The second was the 1948 University of Karachi Department of Geography. And then the third department, it was Department of Geography, University of Peshawar. Then we started in 1973, you can see here the growth of this Department of Geography, that you can see here in 1973, the Department of Geography started MPhil and PhD program after successful completion of PhD program by our senior geographers from abroad. Then it was not end of the task, rather a new discipline we started at the Department of Geography, Environmental Planning and Management by Professor Aslam Khan in 1986. And the department name was at that time in 1986, Department of Geography and Environmental Planning. Now this Department of Environmental Planning and Management is headed by a geographer. So many geographers they are serving in the Environmental Planning and Management Department, but it was started at the Department of Geography. Then in 1993, you can see a success stories of the Department of Geography. That Department of Geography started Urban and Regional Planning Program, and the name of Geography Department is what it was renamed in 1993 as Department of Geography, Urban and Regional Planning, University of Peshawar. Then in 2006, the department started another academic program, Disaster Management, after the 2005 Kashmir earthquake. So we were also teaching the disaster management courses to our geography students. So therefore, we initiated the disaster management program at the Department of Geography. So now it is full-fledged Center for Disaster Preparedness and Management, where 4 geographers they are serving in this center. So this is an independent degree academic departments at the University of Peshawar, where geographers are serving. Then in 2011, the department started another academic program called as the Geomatics, GIS and Remote Sensing Program, BS 4-year program. I mean, it is equivalent to MSc program and the MPhil program in Geomatics. So the present name of the Department of Geography is Department of Geography and Geomatics, University of Peshawar. So there were no graduates in 2011, 2012 of this particular program. So therefore, we inducted geographers in order to run this academic program. So I mean, we were working consistently. We were working to introduce new academic program and open new avenue for our geographers. Then our future program is looking to the climate change scenario. We are working to plan and start the climate science academic program, particularly focusing on the climatology, meteorology, and climate change. You can see here the Department of Geography and Geomatics on the website of the University of Peshawar. So it's a long list of the faculty members, most of them, they are PhD degree holders. Then we are also on the social media, thousands of members, they have joined this social media Facebook account as well. So this is the Islamia College from where the Department of Geography, it was started. So you can see the building. It was in continuation of the Aligarh Muslim University. So this is the present building where the Department of Geography is located. So you can see here a beautiful building where on the ground floor you can find the Department of Geography. So when there is any MPhil and PhD defense program, and the external examiner comes, so we usually record that in the form of photographs. So you can see some of our colleagues from other universities. This is, you can see here on the left corner at the bottom, the Department of Geography building and Department of Geography on the ground floor. You can see here inside, we are entering to the Department of Geography. Let me give you a virtual visit of the Department of Geography. So this is Office of the Department of Geography Chairman. So my teacher, Professor Dr. Amir Nawaz Khan. These are some of the labs at the Department of Geography. I will explain everyone individual. So you can see with special reference to today's episode, I have tagged the labs with my senior teachers who are currently retired and around 80 and 85 age. Professor Israruddin, cartography, like Dr. Muhammad Said, geomorphology, they were the leading legend of this particular field. So therefore, I take these labs. Professor Aslam Khan, GIS lab, Professor Yak, all of them, they are retired professors. Professor Khan, remote sensing lab, computing lab, climatology and remote sensing lab. So you can see here, in order to issue their tribute to my senior teacher, Professor Israruddin, cartography lab. He was one of the teachers who taught us the cartography. So you can see the picture of my teacher, Professor Israruddin. He is about 88 years. So he personally inaugurated last year this lab. So you can see here so many students when I announced that on the social media. So you can see here so many students, they came to the department in order to interact with our senior teacher, Professor Israruddin. So this is some of the glimpses of the cartography lab established recently, almost 2 years back. You can see here some of the glimpses of the cartography lab and some of the visitor professors from various geography department. When they visited, I recorded that, and I'm showing. So this is all about the cartography lab. You can see here, beautiful lab. Then I have another lab called as the Dr. Muhammad Syed Geomorphology lab. He was the legend geomorphologist. And in 2018, he died. And in order to recognize his contribution to the Department of Geography, I take this lab as the Dr. Muhammad Syed Geomorphology lab. He was a legend geomorphologist. You can see here some of the glimpses of geomorphology lab. See here. Some students from other university, they also visit the Department of Geography. You can see here the students from Islamia College University and from the Government College Nowshera University students. So you can see here some of the glimpses of the geomorphology lab. One of the graduate of the Aligarh University, Professor Muhammad Ashraf Durrani, the Department of Geography has independent, rich library having more than 50,000 collections. So this is the entrance of the seminar library of the Department of Geography, which is take to founder of the Department of Geography, Professor Muhammad Ashraf Durrani Seminar Lab. So you can see within the lab library, there is digital library corner. So students, if they need the digital access, so the digital books and digital research papers are available using this lab. You can see some of the glimpses of the library. And it was not an end, rather we regularly organize the conferences. So this is an international conference. Every year we organize conferences. So this year we also organize this international conference. You can see here some glimpses of this conference. So I do hope in future you will also be part of this conference. So in next year in July, we have one of the summer campus of the University of Peshawar, which is also cantonment and hill station, where we usually organize during summer vacation such kind of academic events. These are some of the international participants. So this is the Pakistan Geographical Association executive body, which was elected during that international conference. You can see here some of the colleagues. Some other events of the geographers, you can see here, this is the Department of Geography. This is the corridor of the Department of Geography and pictures displayed over here. You can see here, this is the corridor of the Department of Geography. You can see here, Department of Geography. This is our MPhil and PhD classroom. There were one lecture on the drone technology application of remote sensing. So some of our students, they are currently serving in some very important organizations. They're taught students with drone technology. We can see here. And we also regularly organize events like the Earth Day. We are celebrating such kind of events. Our Vice Chancellor, you can see in this event. So our Vice Chancellor, in order to contribute to the Earth Day, our Vice Chancellor, you can see here, he is planting tree as well. You can see Earth Day, Vice Chancellor and faculty members and students. Similarly, we also organize Geography and Geomatics Weeks. We organized in 2022 this year. So some of the exhibitions winners, so you can see here from the affiliated colleges, female and girls and the male colleges affiliations. So we also organize field work. This is from the Rohtas Fort. Rohtas Fort, which is located in Salt Range. You heard about the name of the Rohtas Fort.
Excuse
So
me,
this is how.
Mr. Convener, somebody is disturbing and the screen is not seen. It is not available to us.
Are you sure? Oh,
No, we can see,
we
sir.
share it again.
Shrikant Dixit is presenting.
Someone else has started the sharing.
Shrikant Dixit is sharing. Please stop presenting.
Someone else is also sharing his screen.
Yes,
No,
okay.
It's okay.
Now okay, sir.
Okay.
It's okay now. You can proceed, sir.
Can you see the Rohtas Fort? It is in the Salt Range, beautiful Salt Range.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, you can proceed.
Okay. It's not working. Let me start it again. I'm stopping shares because somebody disturbed it. So let me restart it. The presentation. Hope you can see the Rohtas Fort. A beautiful Rohtas Fort you can see here. It is in the Salt Range. So this is also the Rohtas Fort. We can see here. Salt Range. In the Salt Range, we usually conduct. This is the treasury of the geology and the geomorphology study. So we usually in 2022 we organized this field survey in collaboration with the University of the Lahore College for Women University. So this was a joint event. So we jointly organize a hybrid events like this. You can see this is a salt mine. Salt mines. You heard about the Keoda salt mine in the Salt Range. So these are some of the exhibitions we usually organize. Every year we organize exhibitions for the students. You can see some of the students from the Jinnah College, University of Peshawar, and from other universities. You can see here. So it was not end of the story. Rather, we also organized some sports event for the students as well. So this was all about the short story of the Department of Geography and short visit of the Department of Geography. So I think it is, partly it is more than enough. But anyhow, this the Department of Geography, it was started in 1956. Other departments, they are producing graduates, but the Department of Geography, in addition to production of graduates, they are producing the regularly updating their curricula and organizing international events in collaboration with other organizations as well. So with these words, inshallah, we will also contribute in next event as well. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be part of this important events. So this was just few glimpses of my departments, my parent department, from where I graduated, and currently I'm serving as head of the Department of Geography and Geomatics. Hope I will get some good feedback from my colleagues, from my friends from India and Bangladesh. Thank you very much, and thank you. Best of luck. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Professor Rahman, for
you, sir.
virtually taking us to your Peshawar University, Department of Geography. It's exciting. And then I think we will have a discussion at the later stage. And or if someone interacts, Professor Qureshi or others, if you want to interact, then probably a few minutes for interaction, and then we will proceed for.
No, sir, please proceed ahead.
Yeah.
Professor Kumaraswamy, proceed ahead, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Qureshi Sahab. Professor Rahman ji, wait for some time and then we will have a discussion at the later stage. Let me invite Professor Bimal K. Kar of Bhagat University to talk about a few minutes about this program. Professor Kar.
Good afternoon, but I think this is not the time for me.
Okay.
I want to listen to the presentations. After that only. So I say only namaskar to all of you present.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Now, let me invite Professor Sudesh Nangia, the veteran geographer from JNU, to talk about the development of geography in Delhi region and Delhi University, because Madam was the first candidate of Delhi University. So probably,
Professor Kumaraswamy, would you like to invite Professor Tyagi first, because he is going to talk about Professor M.P. Thakore, who was really the brain behind starting the programs in Delhi University.
Okay, Madam. Okay.
Thank you.
Then Professor Tyagi of SPSC of Delhi University to begin the talk. Professor Tyagi, sir. Professor Tyagi.
Please open your mic.
Professor.
Sir, Tyagi sir, please open your mic. You are not audible.
Professor Tyagi sir.
आवाज आ रही है?
जी अब आ रही है.
आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Professor Rai, Professor Kumaraswamy ji, Professor Ataur Rahman ji, Professor B.K. Kar, Professor Sudesh Nangia ji, Professor Saha, Professor D.P. Singh, and so many other geographers from India who are participating in today's deliberations. It's my proud privilege to talk on M.P. Thakore, who, to me, and rather many of those who know him, was a great geographer, a great organizer of geographical events, a great motivator, and a founder of the postgraduate department in the University of Delhi. I was so happy when about a month ago, I had a telephonic conversation with Professor Singh that he has the plan that we are going to have the lecture on the founders and founders of geography in the Delhi University. Thank you, Professor Singh, for this invitation to me, and I'm really glad that I got an opportunity today to speak about a person to whom I have greatest of respect, because he was the man who really worked so hard for the development of geography in Delhi University that really, when you will listen that how he moved many times single-handedly without much support from others, and was able to bring in geography into the present shape what we see today in Delhi University. I was associated with Dr. Thakore. Actually, I came in his contact in 1963-64 when I joined as a student of geography honors in Kirorimal College, and he was head of the department there. After that, I was with him for more than 20 years as his colleague in the college, which was headed by him, where he was principal till his retirement. And also, my association continued with him as a friend till he breathed last. So I have the information, whatever I'm going to share with you, is just based on my experiences by working with him, learning from him, staying with him. So whatever I say today is absolutely the first-hand information that is for Dr. M.P. Thakore. He was born on 28th July 1917 in a town in undivided Punjab, and that area now falls in Haryana. His school education was around that town of his birth, and then he went for undergraduate courses to Punjab University. After completing his undergraduation, he went to Aligarh Muslim University for his post-graduation. He wanted to continue further in his studies and therefore got himself registered for PhD in London University. And the PhD thesis, the area of his research was urban geography. And his supervisor was one of the greatest urban geographers of the world, Professor Smails, who has written a lot of books. And it was an opportunity for us that he invited him to India also, and Professor Smails delivered 2 lectures in Shaheed Bhagat Singh College after he became principal of the college. This thesis of Dr. M.P. Thakore, he shared it with me, showed me when I thought that I want to do research after joining Shaheed Bhagat Singh College in 1969. So he was so keen motivating other people to do research. And then he showed me his thesis. His thesis was on Delhi. And the thesis had wonderful pictures of those days when Delhi was just growing. The British started building that capital and finally settled after on the other 6 sides of Delhi. And his thesis, he mentioned about those 7 important cities of Delhi, and then finally he was talking about the New Delhi. Actually, partition of India in 1947 brought Dr. M.P. Thakore into the prominence of teaching of geography in Delhi. He was teaching geography in Punjab, in the College of Punjab University, which was in Delhi. But in 1947, when partition took place, many people were displaced and came and settled down in Delhi. For them, several camps were built, and many students also crossed over to India at that time, and there was a great need for them to start geography teaching. Many students were for an undergraduate, and many were for postgraduate classes. And therefore, a camp college was started because these students came from the camps. Therefore, the name of this new college was also given as a camp college where geography was introduced. And Professor Thakore was invited from the camp college because he was the only teacher teaching geography available now in Delhi at that time. So he was invited to take classes even in camp college for geography, and there he started teaching. And that was in 1948. After this, the camp college was merged into Dayal Singh College, and Dr. Thakore, there after taking these classes there, he thought that the geography has to be started, or the geography has to be given its due place, because he is a great lover of the subject. I have seen people, really most of us love our subject, but he loved geography because he wanted its growth. He wanted its expansion, that let people of Delhi know and let people of India know that geography exists in Delhi, which was really not known at that time. So in 1955 can therefore be considered as a landmark of geography in Delhi, because this was the time when Dr. Thakore formed an association of Indian geographers. And this Association of Indian Geographers was housed in an office in central Delhi, the Shankar Market, near Connaught Place. And this was a central place for many years for the geographers who visited Delhi, not from India, but from abroad. They used to stay here without any charge, and Dr. Thakore used to give them all the facilities to just make it aware, just to emphasize that geography was needed, and geographers are very much there in Delhi, and they want to grow the subject here. So, and then to make it more popular, he started a geographical journal known as the Indian Geographer. The several volumes initially started with this, the Indian geographers, and many geographers contributed into this. But after many years, this was discontinued because of many factors. There was problem of those who could contribute, and of course, yes, the financial problems. MP Thakore wanted the growth of geography in Delhi University. So he thought that how to do it. So he made a plan in his mind that he organized the annual general body meeting of the Association of Indian Geographers, and he invited Professor V.K.R.V. Rao, who was then the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, to deliver his keynote address at that time. So when Professor Rao was there, he spoke at length, and there itself Dr. MP Thakore requested him that there is a need of geography in Delhi University. Let it be an interdisciplinary subject, because by doing so, it was possible that the Department of Economics and Department of Sociology, they can work together. Therefore, geography must come in Delhi University. He was able to convince him. Though at that meeting, Professor Rao didn't say or didn't declare that geography is going to be started, but he definitely made a declaration that we are going to consider it very seriously because it is a very important subject. So after this meeting, for full of 1 year, Dr. MP Thakore kept on pushing, kept on meeting people. And ultimately, in the next general body meeting, he invited Dr. B.N. Ganguly, who was director of Delhi School of Economics at that time. And Dr. Ganguly, in fact, and the Vice Chancellor, Professor Rao, they already had discussed and planned, yes, geography must be started in Delhi University. So when Professor Ganguly came, and then he was delivering his lecture, at that time only he declared that we are going to start geography in Delhi University, and that will be housed in Delhi School of Economics. But he said that in Delhi School of Economics, because we are starting it, geography they considered as being it's more scientific. They thought that we want to have it a humanistic approach, and we are going to have an interdisciplinary approach. Therefore, the name must be given as Department of Human Geography. So the first name it was the Human Geography, and that was started in Delhi School of Economics in 1959. So the first batch, of which Professor Nangia was there, they was admitted in 1960. The department started functioning in Delhi University. Surprisingly, that the man who worked so hard for bringing geography to Delhi University was not considered, or he himself did not present, did not ask a position for himself in the department at that time, because he was just interested in the growth of the subject and not his personal growth. He wanted geography at undergraduate level also, not the postgraduate level. He was successful, geography was there in the school, but now he wanted its growth, because he wanted that there has to be the feeder. The students, from where the students will come to the postgraduate department, they should come from Delhi University only. So why not to start the geography at undergraduate level? This was his consideration primarily for two reasons. One was that subject will become popular at the grassroots level. Two, more job opportunities will be generated for those who will be passing out in masters, doing MA. They need jobs as well. So he was considering from both angles that the subject must grow, and those who are associated with subject must get the job, so that the subject in totality is seen as growing. So he approached at that time Dr. Sarup Singh, who was the principal of Kirodimal College and later became Vice Chancellor of Delhi University. And he met with the success that geography was introduced at the BA pass course level and honors level in Kirodimal College in 1963. And I was a student at Kirodimal College of the second batch in 1964 when he was head of the department there. After 4 years serving in Kirodimal College, Dr. M.P. Thakur was offered or got an opportunity to get a readership in Jawaharlal Nehru University. He was appointed as reader in the Department of International Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, and this department at that time was housed in Sapru House, because Jawaharlal Nehru University by that time was not having enough space, a good building of its own, so he was starting different buildings, and so he was going to Sapru House. But that was his brief stay there, because by this time he got an opportunity of the principalship in Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, and he joined Shaheed Bhagat Singh College. So he was happy there, not because he got the principalship. He was very happy there because now he has power to start geography in his own institution. It was easier for him. So that he did. And he started geography teaching in BA pass course as well as BA honors course in Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, thereby starting with 2 teachers. And I joined in the second batch when we became 4, from 2 to 4. He was also interested, not here, that in the meantime, the government had a policy that now, because there is a pressure of students in Delhi University, new colleges must be opened. So the University Grants Commission gave permission that any college of Delhi University opens up evening classes will be given full grant from the University Grants Commission. So Shaheed Bhagat Singh College opted for it and started evening college as well. But in evening college, there was a condition that you could not start a course which had practical courses. And geography, if he wanted to start geography, then the problem was of the practicals. But still, he went ahead, he called me that you are the person who will take initial charges and then start admitting students for BA pass course in geography. We'll see what the UGC say, we'll solve it later. We did that. And there were objections from the University Grants Commission, but I writing several letters and so many things, we were successful. And Shaheed Bhagat Singh College evening also has today BA pass course level geography and honors level geography, by which, and there are only about 12 teachers teaching in that department. It's all the efforts of Dr. M.P. Thakur, about 12 to 15 teachers teaching in the morning and around 12 teachers teaching in the evening college, Shaheed Bhagat Singh. That's all efforts of Dr. M.P. Thakur. He did not stop here. He wanted to grow it further. He wanted to make Shaheed Bhagat Singh College as the postgraduate department teaching in geography. Therefore, he applied to the Delhi University, and the inspection committee was constituted. The committee visited Professor Pal, Professor Burman. They all came, and they found that Shaheed Bhagat Singh College was a fit case to start post-graduation. But unfortunately, later on, something happened on the part of the department that they didn't allow to start geography MA in Shaheed Bhagat Singh College. He was disappointed. But he thought, okay, there are some other ways to do it, to do some justice for the geography. He therefore approached Department of Geology, because the Department of Geology wanted to start BSc Honors in Geology in South Campus, Delhi University. And he wanted to associate geography with Department of Geology, that let the students of BSc Honors Geology opt one paper of geography so that it becomes popular in the science side also. And then this was supported to him, that he gave the example that such a situation exists in DBS Postgraduate College, Dehradun, where I started teaching college. There, BSc students had geography, geology, and chemistry. They were doing BSc. So that was an example given by him to DU. And initially, Department of Geology agreed to it, that they will do it. But again, he was just one person. Other people were not supporting him. So it was again fizzled out. And there, again, it was not there at all. After this in Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, he wanted the people, to the students or the teachers, exposure. So he invited many foreign geographers, many foreign geographers and Indian geographers to deliver lectures in Shaheed Bhagat Singh College. I can name a few, as in Professor Kosinski, who was the Secretary General at that time of IGU from Canada. He came, he spoke. Professor Smails spoke on urban geography. Professor Ankingo Jacobson from Denmark, he spoke on soils. And Professor Gullstrand from SIDA, now known as SIAS, from Sweden, and many others. They came and delivered lectures. And then this is how geography started becoming popular. And many other colleges also followed. Then the geography now exists in many colleges of Delhi University. And the next thing, which was really very important, which I said, Dr. M.P. Thakur, what he did, that he wanted this geography now at the all country level. There must be an association at all India level, where there should be conferences, where the geographers from the country must come together and must start discussing. There should be such seminar, there should be some such body, independent body, to hold these things. So he, along with Professor Monis Raza, and of course I also got an opportunity, I'm lucky enough, I was also part of that consultative committee. We used to hold meetings in Shankar Market, now how to start, how to do it. So we decided, let us go for just one day seminar, one day conference of the all geographers meet. And that was the first meeting was called, and that was held in INSA auditorium near University Grants Commission. And there, Professor Monis Raza was the key speaker. He was key speaker, and many other geographers also raised questions. And there was a huge support that there must be an association of the country level, and this kind of activities must grow in our country. And therefore, that at that time, this gave an idea, this mooted an idea to start geography. And I think in the Department of Town and Country Planning was a place where even geographers, my colleagues from JNU, they were headed by Professor Monis Raza, used to have meetings earlier called as the Saturday Club, which ultimately grew, and today it is Nagi. So the seeds of Nagi started from there, from where the first conference called by the initiatives of Dr. M.P. Thakur, Professor Monis Raza, and many others. They started in Delhi, just was one day conference. And after this, I can only say one thing here about Dr. M.P. Thakore, that he never thought that he himself was not able to do any academic work. I should be very clear about it, that he was a person who did not publish many papers. He did not write many books. He did not produce many PhDs. But the contributions that he has made for geography, I think, must be remembered. You will find rare such people who devote their whole life for the growth of the subject. And this man, after his retirement, he was loving the subject so much. I used to visit him because he fell sick at the later age of his life. I used to visit him in his house. He started behaving with me as his friend, and the last meeting of mine, he was so sentimental that then he said something. It was really, he told me, I quote his words, "Tyagi, I'm going. I'm leaving this world. I'm leaving the Department of Geography, Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, in your hands because you are still young. You can motivate other people. Let geography must go in the same direction." And though he was not able to attend that seminar, but it is because of his request or his initiative, we had a seminar on environmental geography in Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, just to fulfill his desire that yes, even if you are not there on the scene, geography will go, geography will work, it will grow, and it's still growing in Delhi University. And I think this is enough. Such a great geographer, I don't have much. As I said, there's not a big list of his publications or anything, but I still remember when he was in Kirodimal College, he was supervising a research of one student, Mr. Jain, who was doing PhD registered in Punjab University, and his topic was on Chandigarh, urban geography again. So his few papers were published in the earlier volumes of Indian geographers, but I am sure that when you weigh the work in expansion of geography, in the growth of geography, as a founder of geography, he has a lot of weight. And I salute this man. And I think today, I don't know whether I have been able to do justice about his work, what he wanted, but I'm sure wherever his soul would be today, would be happy that he's being remembered on such a great meet. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Inspiring
Thank you, sir.
speech and your devotion to Professor Thakore, who selflessly worked for the cause of geography and then developed the subject not only in colleges, but the universities, Delhi University, then Jain.
Yes.
Really, it's a wonderful thing. But I could consider his work with Professor N. Subramaniam of Madras. Because on his deathbed, few hours before his death, he was worried about the society, Indian Geographical Society, how it would grow and so on. So that was his thinking, not about his wealth or his children, but about the subject. Really, it's
yes, sorry, sir, I can add one thing here, that he was so much worried about the growth of even Nagi. If Nagi, people would have associated him in the earlier stages, I think today Nagi would have had its own building, Shankar Market. He was ready to give that flat. It's a property of worth 300-400 crores today, that he was ready to give to Nagi, but people didn't approach him in the right way. He was approached at the later stage when Professor Rai, who was there, must be listening to him. He requested me that you please approach. I went there. But at that time, he was not in his senses. He was not able to even find out where the keys are, what I'm talking about, what the Nagi is. He was in such a state of mind at that time. It was very hard for him to take a decision. Otherwise, Nagi perhaps would have been a central place. A central office would have been in New Delhi in its own building. Today, I think by now, Nagi is having no office of his own. At least in Delhi, I do not know whether in either city it has.
Same thing, sir. It happened to Chennai also. because we don't have even a cent of land to the Indian Geographical Society, though we are nearing 95, 96 years. But there was a committee for purchasing a land for Indian Geographical Society. And with their influence and all, they would have purchased so many acres of land at the prime center of Chennai. Probably that would be costing for several thousand crores. But that was 20s and 30s. So many things happened, and nothing. We don't have now even a single cent of land for society.
That's right. Yes.
It happens, sir. Sometimes it happens, and we should regret for that.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. It's an inspiring speech, and you have opened our eye on the development of geography in Delhi region. With this spirit, may I request Professor Sudesh Nangya ma'am to continue the same spirit, and then our interest on learning how geography discipline has developed in Delhi region. Madam?
Thank you, Professor Kumaraswamy. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, madam. Yes, please.
I must congratulate Professor Tyagi for giving us a very inspirational account of Professor M.P. Thakore. Actually, for this very reason, I wanted him to speak the first, because he was basically the harbinger of geography discipline in Delhi. Now, I have been asked to talk about the first teachers of Delhi University, Dr. Shyam Sunder Bhatia, Dr. Savitri Burman, Dr. Amrit Lal, Dr. Ranjit Tirth, and also on the screen are Mrs. Rukmani Srinivas, about whom we did not have mention, of course, in this, Dr. K.K. Khattu, and Mr. Edison Dayal, about whom I would like to give brief introduction. Before that, I would like to bow before all my teachers by saying, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Dear friends, I'm not addressing everyone by name, but my colleagues from the academic background, I am really grateful to all the teachers who inspired me to take up geography at the postgraduate level. Now my task has been made easy by the information which has been provided by Professor Tyagi here. My information is partly based on the monograph prepared by Professor Baleshwar Thakur, who wrote on the evolution of geography in the University of Delhi. It is a long treatise of 68 pages. In fact, he would have been the most apt person to come and address the progress of geography in Delhi and its various colleges. But I have taken a few abstracts from his study, from his report, and also I have my own experiences and association with the department as a student since 1961, and now, which continues even till today in some form or the other. Not as a teacher, but as a geography comrade in the family of geographers. As Professor Tyagi mentioned, that initially the subject started, actually one cannot go further without giving a brief account of how geography started in Delhi. And as Professor Tyagi said, that it all started with Camp College by accommodating the students from the displaced families. The Camp College was started in the Butler High School, and later, of course, it got shifted and its name was changed to the Singh College, as Professor Tyagi has said. So I'll just skip out that information. This subject was being taught by, at that time, by Dr. M.P. Thakore and by Dr. Shyam Sunder Bhatia. They both were trying to teach the students of geography who migrated from Punjab University and from the other parts of what we call now Pakistan. And as he said that in 1955, Professor M.P. Thakore had formed an association of Indian geographers. Through this association, he had been trying to impress the Delhi University Vice Chancellor to start a postgraduate department in the University of Delhi. In 1958, that was the third conference of the association, the Vice Chancellor, Professor V.K.R.V. Rao, suggested and gave an assurance to open a department of human geography in Delhi University. Now, why it was named as Department of Human Geography, Dr. B.N. Ganguly said, as I'm just supporting Dr. Thakur's, Professor Tyagi's statement here, he said, he himself was an economist, he said that there's a need of multidisciplinary approach to some common problems faced by different disciplines. So we are naming the new department as the Department of Human Geography for a specific reason. He said, geography plays an important role in the field of social sciences, and we thought that we need a Department of Human Geography for the simple reason that we wanted to emphasize that particular part of geography which is closely related to economics, political science, and agriculture economics. But here, with all my respect to the Vice Chancellor, he forgot to mention that ultimately they're all rooted into the soil, into the physical aspects. So unless you understand the physical aspects of space, you do not understand agriculture. You do not understand even political science, and you do not understand economics as well. But anyhow, that was his vision, and with this vision, the department was started. There was another reason to start to name it as Department of Human Geography, which when we were students, we heard. See, the Delhi School of Economics got started on the pattern of London School of Economics and Political Science. So when it was started here, political science could not be started in Delhi School of Economics because it was already there in the arts faculty in Delhi University. So here it was, the major subject was economics, but initially then two subjects were added, that is sociology and human geography. And this is how this school came to have both sociology and human geography as the two subjects. As the department was started, 4 positions given to the department initially by the UGC: 1 professor, 1 reader, 2 lecturers. And in the third plan, 2 more positions were given, 1 of a reader and 1 of a lecturer. But initially, 3 positions were filled up. Now, of course, there was, this was a very delicate situation where Professor M.P. Thakore had worked all along, made all efforts to initiate the Department of Human Geography in Delhi School of Economics. But when it came to the headship, it was Dr. S.S. Bhatia who was given. The reason could be something else, but as I was told by Professor Thakore in one of our informal chats, he said,
Please on my mic.
Madam, mic.
Can you hear me now, please?
Yeah. Now it's okay, madam.
Yes?
Yes, madam. Yes.
So what he said, that when the departments was established, at that time he was away to a foreign country, and in his absence, the decision was taken. And this is how Dr. Bhatia became the head of the department, reader and head. Now, this is what was told to me by Dr. MP Thakore himself. And of course, there is always some kind of a, you may not call it frustration on his account, but then there was in some corner of his heart a feeling that he was not justly rewarded for his efforts. Though he had channelized his efforts in other directions, he became the principal, he helped in developing this subject in various institutions and colleges. Now, with this, in the formative years between 1959 and 1962, there was no professor. So we had one reader, Professor S.S. Bhatia. We had two lecturers, Dr. S.D. Burman and Mrs. Rukmani Srinivas. Now we have another problem. The first batch of students was taken in 1960. Incidentally, I was from the second batch and not from the first batch. But in the first batch, there were all four girl students. And in the second batch, there were 7 students, and I was one of them. Now, before I come to that, I'll just talk about little bit that I know about our professors who taught us at that moment. Professor Bhatia joined as reader in 1959 and became the first head of the department. He was specialized in agriculture geography, and as I said earlier, he first taught in Camp College and prior to joining the university department. But he resigned from his readership in 1962 on some issues which I cannot, of course, disclose at this point with the and I think he also resumed it for a brief period in 1965-66. I'm not very sure, but maybe Professor Suresh Rai would bear me out. His teaching style was very simple to understand. He was one of the best teachers I have come across in life. An ideal teacher, but also a very strict administrator. He taught us climatology, and he taught us the textbook of Trivartha on climatology, and he made it so simple. It was a real pleasure to have attended his classes. It just looked like a storytelling to us. He also taught us some sections on agriculture. He taught us on crop combination regions in India. I think a method which he himself had evolved while working on this study. Now, I remember while he was teaching climatology, why I say that he was very strict also. He wanted us to keep on updating our knowledge and revise our knowledge. First thing when we joined the department, he said, you forget what you have learned at the undergraduate level. You have to learn everything anew. And in that context, in one of the examinations, he had given us a question on lapse rate. And somehow or the other, I did not recollect what he had taught. So I produced it from our undergraduate study. Of course, it was written very excellently. But then, to my surprise, he gave me 0 in that question. I asked him, he said, no, you have to forget what you learned at the undergraduate level. You have to now perceive the problem from a different perspective. And of course, I lost 5 marks. During that period, we used to have 4 or 5 questions to answer. And then every question was of 20 or 25 marks. So immediately you are down by 25 marks. So that was his attitude towards training you and towards equipping you with the latest knowledge. Now, I'm sure he developed many courses. I'll give a list of courses which were being taught to us at that point of time. Before that, I'll just give you an idea of the 3 papers which I know he published during this period. One was on crop combination regions of India, and another was on a reconsideration of the concept of primate city, which came in Indian Geographical Journal in 1962. And another one was a new measure of agricultural efficiency in UP, which came up in economic geography in 1967. I think there were 3 students who completed PhD with him, or those who initiated. One was Edison Dayal, who was working as a technical assistant, or maybe at that time a choreographer. What was the designation? I don't know. But he used to help us in the laboratory at that time, along with Mrs. Srinivasan, who used to take our cartography classes. So Professor Dayal worked on cropping patterns of Punjab plains. The thesis was submitted in 1966, I think just before Professor Bhatia left. The other thesis which started under him was by R.L. Patni. That was on concentration and disposal of major industries in India. But by the time he could go through, he could complete the thesis, Professor Bhatia had left, and finally this thesis was submitted under Professor V.L.S. Prakasha Rao. The third thesis, I would say that I started working with him. I initiated my work with him while he asked me to go to the library and select a topic, what I would like to work on. So he gave me some assignments, some reading, and in the earlier stages, how we used to select our topic, go to library, read literature, and then come up with some kind of a format on which we would like to work. But before that, before I could complete my work, he left the department in 1966. So this was my interaction with him. Long after, I met him in the University of Wisconsin on one of my visits. And then, of course, it was for a very short period. While we talked of, what I was doing and how did I manage and all that, how did I manage my studies. Now, our 2 teachers, Dr. Amrit Lal and Dr. Ranjit Tirth, they joined in the year 1962. For a very brief period, I was taught by them. Dr. Amrit Lal took some lectures on urban geography for us, and Dr. Tirth some lectures on India, basically the cultural geography of Indian subcontinent. And later I also saw a book published by Dr. Tirth on India. Dr. Tirth in 1966 left the department to join East Lansing University in Michigan State in USA, and Professor Amrit Lal left during the same year to join Windsor University in Canada. And Professor Bhatia also left during the same period in 1966. All these 3 teachers, they left the department, and Dr. Bhatia went and joined the University of Wisconsin. The only other person, other professor was left in the department was Professor Burman. I think who stayed right from the beginning till her time of retirement. She was a PhD from the University of Wisconsin. Her specialization was in land resources. She taught geography in the 40s in a degree college at Lahore. She was also research officer in Planning Commission in India in 1952-53. She went and taught at Rangoon University, Burma, between 1953-55. And she joined as lecturer in Delhi University in 1959. My feeling is that during this period, he must have gone over to Wisconsin to complete her doctorate. I'm not very sure, but that is my hunch because there is a gap of few years. Then she might have gone. And twice she headed the department, first in 1962 for a very brief period when Professor Bhatia resigned, and then I think in 1980s. She retired in 1981 and then availed extension for another 5 years. And her final retirement was in 1986-87. Her teaching style was just superb. She was a strict disciplinarian in the class, but outside she was very affectionate and she always gave us motherly treatment to all the students. But once angry, it was very difficult to bring around. Once she asked me, I'll give example again from myself, and I don't know, God knows how many teachers did I make angry during my student days. She asked me to write an essay, normally what now we call a term paper, on some issues of the subject which she was teaching. And I spent almost 15 days in the library, tried to read each and everything and produced a paper. And we were very scared of teachers. No, we would never go very near them. And if they're busy talking, we would stand outside and wait for them. So after I completed my paper, I was just waiting in front of her room. Her room and Professor Bhatia's room, they were quite adjacent. And she was with Dr. Bhatia, maybe discussing something, and I kept on waiting there for almost 45 minutes. She comes out and she says, yes, what is it? I said, I brought the paper. She looked at the paper and just threw it on my face. She says, is this the way you should write a paper? I just didn't know because I spent so much of time working on it day and night, and then I just did not know. I was almost in my tears, though I don't cry, but then, in your hearts of hearts, you feel very upset about it. But then that also shows that whatever I wrote, it was not accepted to her in that format because I was a postgraduate student and not an undergraduate student. So the same treatment which was given to me by Dr. Bhatia was given to me by Dr. Savitri Burman. Probably these are the experiences which one has with the teachers which makes you stronger in life. And then you are determined to go ahead. Now, she developed, I believe, I have seen Professor Baleshwar's account that she developed several courses. She used to teach us pedology and principles of land utilization. She developed ecology of physical landscape, natural resources and environmental issues, regional study of Himalayas, and I believe that she was also, my own experience also shows that she was very particular about field work, and she expected all of us to do a very sincere field work. In fact, we used to go for field work on both the years, previous year as well as final year. She wanted students to imbibe the practice of field work in research and training as well. She had a remarkable collection of slides on Himalayan ecology. That was her favorite area of research. She often used to show in the classroom and in his seminars. Slideshow used to be a good tool of teaching. As we know, during those days, we did not have the PowerPoints, and any teacher who could show us slides used to be a real good informer for us. And even preparing a slideshow was also not that easy. So that shows that how much to show in the classroom and in his seminars. Professor Burman completed 3 Himalayan studies sponsored tool of teaching by the Committee on Studies for Cooperation and Development in South Asia and funded by UNDP. First phase was taken by a multidisciplinary team with representations, experts from India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh. Second phase focused on in-depth study of Kali River watershed in 1991. And the third phase related to the development in lower Jhelum watershed, Kali River watershed, and lower Tista basin. That was in 1992. Apart from these reports, some of her well-known publications include a study on NEFA, Northeast Frontier Agency, The Land and Its People. It was published in India Quarterly, 1963. Land Ownership and Agriculture of the Tribes of Arunachal Pradesh. It was published in the Perspectives in Agriculture Geography, which was edited by Professor Noor Muhammad. Himalayan Agriculture and Its Impact on Environment, which was again published in New Dimensions in Agriculture Geography, edited by Noor Muhammad. As far as my knowledge goes, she has guided quite a few PhDs. One of her first PhD student was Mamta Mai Sharma. She worked on human ecology of the Khadar tracts in Meerut district. Vinod Prasad Shrestha, a student from Nepal, he worked on resource population relationship of ecological degradation in Tinau watershed area of Nepal. And Anu Kapoor, who is currently professor in Delhi School of Economics, on ecological implications of changing land use pattern in Kashmir Valley. So these are some of the publications which I have come across of Mrs. Burman. I am really sorry that I'm not able to give much information on Professor Tirth and Professor Amrit Lal. Professor Rukmani Srinivasan, she was a tripos from Madras University. She taught us basically India and cartography. In cartography, she was helped by Edison Dayal. And Edison Dayal, after completing his PhD, went to Australia and he became a professor there. Now, I'll just give an account of our first 2 batches, those of us who joined. Our first batch, as I said, was of 4 students and all 4 were girls. Santosh Pava, Raj Bhatia, Rajni Kapoor, Almelu Das. These were the 4 students. I don't know if Professor Rai would be able to find out their names somewhere in the history of the department. All these girls they were exceptionally good in their studies. Santosh Pava was a class cartographer, and she had such a beautiful handwriting and mapping technique that our files just could not stand in front of her. The other 2 students, Raj Bhatia, after completing a master's, she joined Institute of Home Science. About Rajni Kapoor, I'm not very sure, but then I heard that she got married soon after completing her master's. And neither I have much information about about our 4th senior. Our second batch was of 7 students. There were 3 boys and 4 girls. So I just want to emphasize how the department started with girls. Even as teachers, we had 2 lady teachers and 1 male teacher. Rukmani Srinivasan, Professor Burman, and then Dr. Bhatia to start with. Now, these 7 students, we had one student, R.L. Patni, who did his PhD, about whom I referred. He used to have his own coaching institute in Kamla Nagar, which is next to Delhi University. He was a senior person, so he was doing his PhD. He started with Professor Bhatia, then finally completed with Professor V.L.S. Prakash Rao. There was another student, Abdul, from Assam that time. He was working in media, and he continued to work in media after that. Then there was another student, Juneja, who after completing his master's joined Army Short Service Commission. Of the girl students, Raj Lakshmi, she competed for State Bank of India services and she joined that. Uma Krishnan, she joined IAS. There was another girl, Abha Bandal Chaudhary. She was also from Northeast India. We used to call her ABC. She was also from media. And later, Abha and Abdul, they both married. And then it was me who, after completing my master's, joined Law Faculty of Delhi University. Now, why I'm emphasizing this point here is that we passed out from the Department of Human Geography with our MA degree. During that period, it was very easy to get lecturership in the colleges once you complete your master's. But somehow, the degree in human geography was not recognized. So wherever my seniors applied, they did not get the job because they said that you do not fulfill the requisite qualification. Even I had to face the same problem. So I was told that since my degree is not in geography, I cannot be accommodated in geography department. And that is one of the reasons that the popularity of this subject immediately went down, and in the 3rd and 4th batch, there were very few students to join the department. But later, once Professor Prakash Rao came, and once this promise was given that once Delhi University opens its colleges, it is going to give the same importance to this degree of human geography as it would give to geography, that students started coming to the department. And the first student who got the job from our department was Mamta Mai. She was known as Kaushish that time, got married and to a Sharma later. She got her first job in Miranda House. After that, of course, students started getting employment in our students from the department started getting employment. And same was the case with the PhD fallout. From the first batch, one student, she opted for PhD. But because of the problems which she had seen, she decided to leave it and go and join some institute. I also departed. I decided to go in for join some other program and leave this department because there was no opportunity to get the job, especially in academics, though I was more interested in academics. But after I joined law faculty, during this period, Professor George Kurian joined the department in 1962. Again, I had some memory which I would like to share. You see, we were supposed to write a dissertation at the MA's level. And I was writing a dissertation on land use, changes in land use in Punjab. Now, what happened that under Professor Burman, after I presented my draft, it was not acceptable to Professor Burman. So as I said, that she was a very meticulous person and wanted studies of a very high standard. Now, it seems that there was, when Professor George Kurian came, it was almost the month of December, and then you can't change the topic, you cannot do anything, so you are just wishing that your studies, somehow or the other, your assignments are complete. Then, on the initiation of the faculty, Professor George Kurian took me under him, and he guided me as to what kind of changes I should bring in that report. And I worked with him and completed my dissertation, which of course gave me the maximum percentage of marks in the final examination. Now, these are some of my experiences. Now, if you recall, during that period, master's program used to be for 2 years, but then the examination used to be at the end of 2 years, second year. I don't know if any one of my colleagues present here have had that experience. And it used to be very tough because 4 courses we used to do in the MA previous year and 4 in the final year. But then these 4 courses of the previous year would also be examined in the final year. So we used to have real examination fever, which used to set on us after the end of December. Then people would stop missing classes. They would keep on sitting in the library, lose their night's sleep. And some of them, they would even get, that examination phobia and all that. So with these courses, with this kind of program, it was really very tough to clear those programs, unlike today where we have semester system, and once you have completed these courses, you forget about them. So the 8 courses, we were being taught 8 courses. Geomorphology, which was being taught by Professor Burman. Climatology by Professor Bhatia. Hydrology and oceanography, again by Professor Bhatia. Cartography and fieldwork by Rukmani Srinivasan and Mr. E. Dayal. Pedology and Principles of Land Use by Professor Burman. Regional Geography, India by Rukmani Srinivasan and partly by Dr. Tirth and Dr. Amrit Lal. Regional Geography, Asia by Dr. Tirth and Dr. Amrit Lal. For dissertation, we used to have individual guides. Now, with these courses, to call a Department of Human Geography seemed to be a bit out of texture. Because if we look at these courses, at more than 50% are given, they are physically oriented. Basically, we had no paper on human geography as such. Focus was on physical geography, on regional geography, on map work and field work. But once we got this degree, we had a difficult time, or we had difficulty in explaining that we had our strong roots in physical geography as much as we had in human geography, so to say. Now, I would come to the last point. I would just raise some issues which the department faced in the formative years. As Dr. Baleshwar Thakur has also has said in his monograph. But I tell from my experience. First is, Department of Human Geography was placed in a very competitive environment. On one hand, we had Department of Economics, where we had economists of well-known ground, professors, and we had Department of Sociology. See, in sociology, we had one professor, Professor M.N. Srinivasan, and there must be others also. At that stage, I do not know much about it, who was a man of reputation. well-known economists of India, and I'm sure of the world as well. The director of the institute, B.N. Gangoli, was an economist. Then we had professors like K.N. Raj, Professor Chakravarti, Professor Jagdish Bhagwati, Professor Padma Desai, Professor Amartya Sen, Professor Mrinal Dutt Chaudhary. That is quite a few professors in economics department. At least 2 or 3 professors in sociology, but in geography we had none. One reader. Then, the bargaining power in such a situation, whenever there is interdepartmental infrastructure to be made use of or facilities to be provided, becomes very nominal. We were placed in the first year in the main building of the department on the first floor. Quite a spacious place for all of us. Good cartographic lab too. But then another building was built where the Department of Geography was shifted to the first floor. It looked more like a, what you call a back house to the main building, looking at its construction, looking at its the way it was architecturally designed and all that. And there also we were placed on the first floor with little facilities, with little opportunities. And I don't think even many teachers were accommodated. With great difficulty, and on the ground floor was sociology department, who had this space in addition to the space which they had in the main building. So you can see that a department like geography, which needs larger space for different kinds of laboratories, was really shrunk. At some place, even the first floor bathroom was converted into a storeroom. And some extension was to take place to accommodate the office for the head of the department or have some open space. I'm sure Professor Suresh Rai will bear with me when he comes to talk about the facilities in the department. With great difficulty, now they have been able to get the ground floor for their faculty. And even the lecture theater is again shared. Though we also have the place in the Department of Sociology. Sociology has a separate building now. So economics has also another building for agriculture economics. But geography remains confined to a smaller space. Now, the trouble began with S.S. Bhatia as taking over as head of the department, while everybody thought that Professor Thakore deserved it more. Even Professor Thakore thought so. And hence, there was some kind of a some kind of a knot which was created at that time. Mrs. Burman, who had already served as reader, she was again placed as a lecturer, which was again some kind of frustration which would come to any person who starts his career or her career in the academic field. There was a very poor response as far as the PhD students were concerned, because there were no possibilities, there appeared to be no visible opportunities for students to get good jobs in any of the colleges or institutions after they had completed. So the retention became more prominent only after Professor Prakash Rao took over. And then, of course, the department expanded, the subject expanded to various colleges. And as Professor Tyagi has also mentioned, that various colleges department got started and our students started getting job opportunities. I think I will just end up here, and I'm very thankful to Professor Devendra Prasad Singh ji for giving me the opportunity, and Professor Suresh Rai recommending my name that I should talk about the initial years, though I know that as a student you don't much know about your teachers, those who have been with you for a very short span of life, for 2 years or so. But still, I'm really beholden to all these teachers because they made our personality strong. Even by pointing out to each and every mistake, they actually showed us the path of progress. Thank you so much. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for bringing the development of geography in Delhi region, especially Delhi University. The new names, the names we never heard of is being given by you, especially Professor Amrit Lal, then Professor Tirth. Before going to the lecture by Professor Bimal K. Kar, can I ask Professor S.C. Rai? Professor Rai? I think he has switched off his...
You have to say it aloud.
Yeah.
He has not heard, I think.
Okay. Maybe I can request now Professor Bimal K. Kar of Bhatia University to present his views on the development of geography in Delhi region, in particular Delhi and Jain. Professor Kar.
Yeah, namaskar. Very good evening, everybody present. Honorable President of 28th episode of this continued program, Professor S.C. Rai, our convener, Professor K. Kumaraswamy, and respected speakers for today's event, Professor Sudesh Nangia and Professor V.K. Tyagi, and our chief guest from Peshawar University, Professor Ataur Rahman, and our key person for organizing such event, Professor D.P. Singh, and all other senior professors present in this virtual platform, including Professor M.H. Qureshi, Professor Rana Pratap, and many others. So once again, namaskar from the eastern part of the country of India. I am from Guwahati, and you must be knowing we had the 25th episode of this program representing the Department of Geography, Guwahati University, which was also established in the year 1948, but the postgraduate course in geography started from the year 1958. Now, I must be thankful to the speakers, Professor Tyagi and Professor Nangia, for having enlightened us with the development of geography in Delhi region, more particularly with respect to the Department of Geography, Delhi University. In the beginning, Professor Tyagi focused on the contribution made by Dr. M.P. Thakore while establishing the undergraduate course, and also towards the establishment of Department of Geography in Delhi University, and also towards establishment of the very organization NAGI in Delhi. So regarding the other members, other contributors like Dr. S.S. Bhatia, Dr. Amrit Lal, Dr. Mrs. Savitri G. Burman, and Dr. Ranjit Tirth. Out of all these, apart from these five geographers, Professor Nangia ma'am spoke about two more members also from the Department of Geography, Delhi University. Out of all these geographers, as a student of geography, I personally know through their works with respect to only Professor S.S. Bhatia, who was a geographer to me, agricultural geographer to me, because we know the method he applied while for finding out the agricultural efficiency. In that way, we remember Bhatia's method of agricultural efficiency. Probably he also applied the technique of doing this that was mentioned by Madam Nangia, that is crop combination region. But I remember Professor Bhatia as for his technique of finding out agricultural efficiency, and as regards Ranjit Tirth for his contribution for writing a book on geography of India. Other than these two persons, today only I came to know about them, and I am very much overwhelmed for their contributions to the growth and development of geography, particularly in Delhi with respect to the Department of Geography Delhi region. And as a student of geography from the East, I must salute to all these geographers for their great contribution. And I must thank the organizer, particularly Professor Devendra Prasad Singh ji, for having included me for this 28th episode of this founders and makers of geography of India. And I am sure this spirit of organizing such event continues for all time to come in a much better and greater way, with more and more participations from all around the country. And this time we have got the participation from even outside India also. This is also another positive development that has taken place in this particular event. And so with these few words, I must thank once again Professor Tyagi and Professor Nangia ma'am for introducing all these great geographers from the Department of Geography, Delhi University, and also from Shaheed Bhagat Singh College. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Professor Bimal Kar, for your enlightening words on the development of geography in this part of your region and then in Delhi. May I request Professor Ataur Rahman to talk about whatever his remarks or feedback on the development of geography in Delhi region. Professor Rahman.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
आवाज आ रही है आप लोगों को?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think it is the concluding part, and it is hard to conclude because there is a long list of geographers. They contributed to this particular region of the world, which is very important and ancient for the ancient civilizations. It's not only the present India, but also it is the Pakistan territory, which is also contributing to the geography discipline. But one thing which is very common, हमारे उस्तादों के उस्ताद भी इंडिया से हैं और आप लोगों के उस्तादों के उस्ताद भी जो है इन्हीं रीजन से हैं. So I must congratulate the organizing committee for digging out the most important contribution of our worthy geographers. Their contribution is particularly important because they place the foundation stone for the geography discipline in this region. Now they have offshoots in different universities and different colleges, but the source is the one, and the senior geographers today, their contribution is highlighted by the young geographers, by the senior geographers, and I must say, this is not the end, rather it is a start of this episode in Pakistan, inshallah. We will try our level best to dig out our senior geographers who contributed in the field of geography And you will, all the colleagues from India, from Bangladesh, they will be part and parcel of our episode as well. We floated the idea in our executive body meeting of the Pakistan Geographical Association, and we will get feedback from all of you. I would also like to request all the worthy geographers, senior geographers, and the present day serving geographers, that in the summer, coming summer, I mean in the July, we already planned one international conference at Badagali Summer Campus, and you will also get invitation letter, and it will be honor for the Pakistan Geographical Association to get positive feedback from all the Indian geographers, and we will welcome all of you to join us in that international conference. Instead of virtual interaction, we should have a physical interaction as well to learn from each other. So I think that will be a golden opportunity for all of us to learn from each other and from all the experiences. With these comments, I once again very much oblige of the organizing committee members who organize these episodes, particularly on the legend geographers of the Delhi region. With these words, thank you all, and thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rahman, for enlightening us about the development of geography in Pakistan in particular. Probably we will have more contacts in the coming years. And because we have so many geographical associations in India, and probably in Indian subcontinent, we will have another meeting like what we had a couple of years before on association meeting. And we will be invited, and then you can also join and share with us the development of geography in Pakistan.
Mr. Convener, sir, 1 minute, sir. Convener, sir, we should request Professor Nasreen Rafiq, Chairman of Department Geography of Dhaka University.
Yeah, please.
Professor Convener, sir, I request her to pass her remarks.
Yeah, please, madam, you can join with us. Then, I think whether madam is there?
Yes,
in the
yes,
line?
yes. Yes, see. Madam, open your mic.
Madam?
She is here, she is trying.
Okay.
She is trying.
Yeah.
Madam, open your mic. Madam, open your mic.
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, fine. Good evening.
Yes, ma'am, you may start now.
Unmute and then.
Yeah.
Yes,
Please.
Madam Rafiq, you open your mic. You are not audible. You open your mic, please.
No, she is audible for us. We are listening.
He's audible.
We can hear her voice.
Yes, she is audible. Her voice is coming.
Very nice.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, please.
Madam? Professor Rafiq? Professor Rafiq from Bangladesh.
Yes, she's from Bangladesh. Yeah. Dhaka University.
Professor Qureshi
Okay,
Saab,
okay. Please, please.
Yeah. Yes, madam, it is coming. Madam, unmute.
Yeah, thank you.
It is okay. Fine.
Please, K. Kumaraswamy, please take over.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Kumar Swamiji, please take
Yes,
over.
sir. Okay. Thank you very much. And then now, others feedback. Professor Qureshi Saab, you can give your remarks.
So there are no remarks, but actually, I want to just mention that I knew Professor Thakur, and it was just my sheer luck that he became one of the examiners in my paper in JNU, Economic Geography, and he came and stayed throughout the day. Though I requested him that you take rest, and later on we will, if you want to have Viva, you can have it, or we will check the scripts. But he said, no, I would like to sit here and see the boys and girls working. So he was a very soft person and extremely committed person. That was the impression which I have with him. And the other thing that the first head of department, when I started serving in Agra College, he was also the student of Professor Ismail, who has written Geography of Towns. And he did his PhD on Agra, urban geography of Agra. And then this Professor Thakur also worked with A. Smills. So that was another common. We were talking about the approach of Smills, and Professor Tiwari he knew. Except I agree with Dr. Carr that we have studied this agricultural efficiency worked out by Dr. Bhatia. Bhatia's method of 1962, and also the crop combination regions, though crop combination was initiated by Weber in 1954. And I think that was the first time that the geographer tried to apply quantitative technique, and that too as simple as standard deviation. So after that, we also picked up in agricultural geography, particularly crop combination regions, and the land use studies of Dudley Stamp became very popular. And then Bhatia's method of agricultural efficiency. So I never had any chance of, except Urban Geography by Amrit Lal. Some of his articles I have read, but I have not seen any work of Dr. Tirth, Ranjit Tirth ji. But they were the people who initiated geography in the Delhi University, and that is the credit which should be given to those people. Professor Tyagi has given a very vivid description of Professor Thakur, and Professor Sudesh Nagia has already given her own experience within the department as a student. And since we have worked as colleagues, she has also a lot of experience of agricultural geography because we conducted a number of village surveys together, right from 1975 onwards. So now one has to work out. That is my suggestion, that we are going to complete 100 years of geography in the subcontinent. Can we do something? This is a very good series which will continue, but at least sometimes we, for one day, discuss how it has, how we have handled geography in the subcontinent during these 100 years. Because 2024 is coming, so one more year is left. So it is not only India, but also Bangladesh and Pakistan, because it is the matter of and we have to take care and take cognizance of what has happened in north, south, east, and west. Because Dhaka University also, Dr. Nafis Ahmed was head of the department, who was trained at Aligarh Muslim University. And many of these colleagues in Pakistan, particularly Karachi, Dr. Ibadur Rahman, Qazi Saiduddin Ahmad, etc., have gone from here. And at least I know two geographers, Professor M. Kapoor and Professor O.P. Bharadwaj, who came from Lahore and served Government College Ludhiana. They had actually initially served Lahore University, and after partition they migrated to India and served Government College Ludhiana. They are very known geographers of combined India-Pakistan. So thank you very much for giving me this chance to just express my thoughts and suggest that let us see something for 100 years of geography in the Indian subcontinent. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for initiating the 100 years of geography in India. Because a couple of years before we had a meeting, and then we will rejuvenate this meeting again, and then we will proceed further on how to move further on celebrating this issue. Because it is not
Professor Kumar Swami ji.
Yeah.
I need only 2 minutes.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, and Professor Rana Pratap, I need only 2 minutes.
Rana Pratap Singh, sir.
Yeah.
For 2 minutes, you can have your observation, sir.
Thank you very much. So, President S.C. Rai ji, M.H. Qureshi Sahab, Nasreen Rafiq, Ataur Rahman Sahab, and so many friends, senior colleagues who are attending this episode. And today, really, I am very thankful and delighted to know about the central regions, especially Delhi University, about the development of geography in India. And particularly Professor M.P. Thakur. I was closely associated with Professor Thakur during 1970. He was my PhD examiner, and I also took part in interview board for the lectureship in the Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, where he was presiding over the function, and I was selected there too on the temporary post for 6 months. But I didn't join, and I preferred to join the banking services. But still I was very much close to him, And Professor MP Thakur, when he visited in Petra University, taking so many examinations, he called me. He was always talking about that why you have left the lectureship there in Shaheed Bhagat Singh, why you joined banking services. Simply I told, sir, because that post was only for 6 months. So I preferred to join the banking services. This is fact that after 1 year, I left the banking services and joined the College of Commerce Patna from the commission when I was appointed against the first post. So Professor MP Thakur, he was a very nice gentleman. He was, whenever I visited Delhi, I visited at his residence. He was always behaving like a father. He was treating very nicely. And today, I am very much obliged and thankful to him. And that's why when I got this opportunity, I have to pay my contribution. I have to pay to my tribute to the great soul, Professor MP Thakur, and other eminent geographers of Delhi University. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your short and effective conveyance of this message, your association. Now, Professor S.C. Roy, if he wants to say something.
Kumaraswamy, sir, before President's address,
yes,
I have one information to share.
Yes,
please
sir.
allow me.
Yeah, please.
Respected professors from the Indian, many parts of Indian subcontinent, including Pakistan, Bangladesh, I am happy to inform that on 30th of October this year, we are going to organize an online meeting under the convenership and coordinatorship of Professor A.S. Ali Siraji of Punjab University, Lahore. He is the chairman, Department of Geography, Punjab University, Lahore. And I have also requested our guardian, Professor M.H. Qureshi, to preside over the function. And this episode will be devoted to the celebrations of 100 years of geography in South Asia. And Professor Siraji has agreed to convene and coordinate our activities. And on 30th of this month, we are going to organize it. And many friends from Bangladesh and Pakistan have also assured us to join our episode, our functioning on 30th October this month. So it was an information, sir.
Singh Saab, DP Singh Saab, then I will suggest. Convener Saab, मैं 2 minutes ले सकता हूँ?
जी.
I will suggest that at least these people may be requested to prepare country papers. So there may be one paper from Bangladesh, one from Pakistan, and one from us. So there should be 3 country papers so that we have some record that these are presented, and then one can also combine them.
You have to preside over the function of 30th October, sir. And on that day, we discuss and take decision about your suggestion, sir. Leave it for 30th October. Many people from Bangladesh.
Oh, for discussion, yes.
The discussion session. Professor Nasrin Rafiq will also be there. And her colleague, many colleagues from Bangladesh will be there. And the entire Association of Geographers from Pakistan, under the presidency of Professor Ataur Rahman Sahab, will be there. And Indian people will be also there. And we are also trying to contact our friends from Nepal and Sri Lanka and Bhutan also. We are also trying. Thank you, sir, very much.
If you invite people from Myanmar, then the entire Indian subcontinent is final.
It will be decided under the chairmanship of Professor Qureshi on that day, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
The modality will be decided on 30th of October this year. And the link will be generated and will be mailed to you all. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You pursued according to your schedule.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your information about the next episode on 30th of October 2022. Professor Abhi to propose the vote of thanks of today's event. Professor Saga.
But what about S.C. Rai? Please request S.C. Rai to deliver his presidential address. Dr. S.C. Rai is chairing, so he may give his remarks.
Of course, Professor S.C. Rai. Professor S.C. Rai.
I have already given her. Kumar Swami invited me earlier, so I have already spoke about this episode. So if
now we're looking forward to your final remarks from President. Final remarks.
Okay, thank you very much to organizing such a interesting meeting, online meeting, and this meeting was on Department of Geography, Delhi University and Delhi region. So and I thankful to the Tyagi sir for giving a very elaborate discussion about the MP Thakore contribution, and Professor Sudesh Nagia has given about the Delhi University founders, professors, lecturers, and head of the department. So it will be a very pleasure to me to hear about the my department earlier professors and teachers. And also, I'm thankful to the Ataur Rahman Sahab from Peshawar University, Nasreen from Bangladesh, Dhaka University, and some other professor from Bangladesh University attending this meeting. So this was a nice meeting, and I hope that this will continue. In next episode will be on different aspects. So thank you very much for organizing this meeting on Department of Geography, Delhi University and NCR region. Thank you very much, and thankful to the all senior professors who attended this meeting, and Kumar Swami, Professor M.S. Qureshi, Professor Rana, Professor Bimalkar, and Professor D.P. Singh and other participants. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Okay, Kumar Swami sir.
Perhaps he has trouble in his net, so we should proceed for the further meeting.
He is here.
He's here, but he is not responding.
He's not responding.
Not responding.
By the way,
thank you.
This Nagia ma'am, can I one thing from my side? I want to know from Sudesh Nagia ma'am or Professor Tyagi, out of the founders about whom they have spoken, starting from MP Thakore, then S.S. Bhatia, how many of them are presently alive? Who are presently alive? Ma'am, Nagia ma'am.
Well, very difficult to give that information. As far as I know, Professor Mrs. Burman is no more. Professor Bhatia is also no more. Some time ago, I had heard about Professor Amrit Lal, also the same thing. Mrs. Srinivas was settled in Bangalore. I do not know the latest position. Dr. Khattu incidentally also passed away. So most of them, they have become now memories in our lives.
Oh, I see. And Ranjit Tirth? Ranjit, whatever Ranjit Tirth, ma'am?
I do not know about him because actually they had gone abroad and they settled there. So that's why it's very difficult to comment on them. I wish he's alive.
Yes, yes. We can only wish them. Yes. They are good health. Anyway, thank you, ma'am.
Bimalji, please. Thanking. You please thank.
Hello?
Who is to thank?
Oh, I think
Bimalji, you thank?
No, people from Delhi University will.
Professor Saha is there for vote of thanks. So we can request Professor Saha from Delhi University to offer vote of thanks, formal vote of thanks.
Of course.
Perhaps Professor Saha is not here
No.
because of his some personal reason. So, on behalf of the convener, may I request Dr. R.K. Abhay to present the vote of thanks. Dr. R.K. Abhay, Dayal Singh College. Dr. R.K. Abhay, sir, please propose the vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Dr. R.K. Abhay, sir, you propose the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I was listening this session very carefully, and this is my really privilege that you asked me to propose the vote of thanks. I am really thankful to the chair, Professor S.C. Rai, for being here and giving us this wonderful information and presided over the session. I also would like to thank the convener, Professor Kumar Swami from Tiruchirappalli, for being the convener, and the special guest, Professor Ataur Rahman from University of Peshawar, and distinguished guest, Professor Vimal Kumar Kar. I am extremely thankful to my senior, I think super senior, great senior, Professor Sudesh Nangia ma'am, and Professor V.K. Tyagi sir, to whom I am attached very closely at Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi. I always get the opportunity to learn many things from Professor Sudesh Nangia wherever she meets, and she gives lots of information about Delhi School of Economics and the associations here. And Dr. Tyagi always very generous to provide lots of information about various colleges, how he has struggled to initiate the association and worked hard in the initial days in the formation of Association for Geographical Studies also. So thank you, Professor D.P. Singh sir, for giving me this opportunity to thank all these dignitaries. I also would like to thank all the participants from different parts of the country, Professor Rana, Professor Vimal Kumar Kar, Professor Kumaraswamy, Professor M.H. Qureshi, and others to whom I cannot name here because there is a huge list. More than 90 people have joined this particular session under the presidency of Professor S.C. Rai. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank all of you, sir, all of you, for having this wonderful session on the development of geography in Delhi School, in Delhi University particularly. Thank you so much.
Dr. R.K. Abhay and Professor Nasreen Rafiq of Dhaka and other people from Bangladesh and Pakistan also. We are thankful to all of them. And lastly,
Yes, sir.
lastly, on behalf of the convener, because perhaps he left the meeting, may I request Dr. Madam Kaveri Dhaverkar for the national anthem. And before that, we all should stand up and in silence mode, and only Dr. Dhaverkar will chant the song.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे, भारत माता की जय। Thank you.
With the consent of the chairman, the episode come to an end, and we announce the closure of the meeting. And we shall be meeting on 30th of October on the topic preparation for the celebrations of 100 years of geography in South Asia, under the convener and coordinatorship of Professor A. Ali Siraji of Punjab University, Lahore. Thank you very much to all
Thank
of
you, sir. Deputy Singh sir,
Thank you.
namaste.
Thank you, Kaveri ji. Okay.
नमस्ते राणा सर, नमस्ते सर।
कैसी हैं? ठीक है?
बहुत बढ़िया सर। एक्चुअली नातिन हुई है ना, तो हम बहुत बिजी हो गए थे नातिन के बीच में।
मालूम है कि आप बहुत व्यस्त थी। ठीक है, ओके। बधाई हो, बधाई हो, बधाई हो।
जी सर। इसलिए इतना गैप हो गया नातिन के कारण।
कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं।